So you've made a claim for insurance coverage, and your insurance company says there's no coverage. They've denied your claim. What do? Well, the first thing to do is to be businesslike about this. Believe me, it's a business decision for the insurance company. And getting angry and screaming at the adjuster is very unlikely to get you what you want, which of course is to get them to pay your claim. So what you really need to do is go back to the contract, go back to the insurance policy and see if there's coverage. And your first line of attack is to persuade the insurance company, the insurance adjuster, that he or she is mistaken, that in fact there is coverage. And that involves reading through the policy, figuring out what the basis is for you to get coverage, and convincing the adjuster that you have it. Now, if there's a lot of money at stake or it's a complicated thing, you're probably going to want a lawyer to help you with that. If it's relatively short money or a relatively uncomplicated situation, there's probably no harm in having to go at it yourself. I'll do another video of 3 minutes on how to read an insurance policy. They are difficult at best. But let's say the insurance company won't be persuaded and you are quite confident that your policy really ought to cover you. What can you do? Well, you definitely have rights against the insurance company. You've got the contract rights, you've got a policy that says they're supposed to pay you. Typically you will also have, it varies state to state, you'll have some sort of a statutory right, some sort of a tort right. You have a right to have the insurance company treat you fairly, to evaluate your claim fairly, and to pay it if in fact there's coverage. And at least in Massachusetts, if your claim is obvious enough that the insurance company really ought to know that there's coverage and they're just being bad, you can recover up to 3 times what they should have owed you if they'd paid it in the first place, plus get your attorney's fees. Now the law varies pretty widely over the many jurisdictions in the United States, so that's by no means a lock if you're not in Massachusetts. That's where I'm based and that's where I tend to know the law the best. But definitely in Massachusetts, if an insurance company fails to pay a claim that it ought to know it should pay, you have a right to sue them under what's called Chapter 176D, which you then, it's complicated, but you have rights against the insurance company to recover up to triple plus your attorney's fees. But remember, the first thing to do is to try to be businesslike, try to be reasonable, try to persuade the insurance company that they really ought to pay your claim in a very businesslike way, because lawsuits really aren't any fun, even if you expect to win. They can go on for quite a long time and be quite difficult. So try to work it out before you sue anybody.